What's up YouTube, Dedrock here, bringing that video today. Today we're going to be going over Cybernetic Horizon, and I want to go over the prices of the set, because today is the official launch date. I'm recording this on the official OTS launch date. I think the set's kind of interesting, and you know, the prices in the set kind of vary, and I don't think it's a very good set to invest in, but I think it's a good set to just buy singles from, because there are important cards in this set that you will need, such as like Hayate, Boruto Dragon, and stuff like that. But I think it's just the best to buy singles, because you're really not really going to be making your money back, or even pulling the trade value to trade for the things that you did want from the set. If you're not a big purchaser of cards, I would just kind of bite the bullet this time and purchase cards, just because I don't think you're really ever going to be getting your value back, unless you pull Boral Sword, and that's the best opportunity. Or if you're going to be making a bit of money if you pull Boral Sword and like a danger, but the odds of that happening are like iffy, because they're like all short printed, so you'd have to be really lucky. Anyway guys, let's kind of get into this. First off, Boral Sword Dragon, so it's sitting at like 60, and I actually think this is like a really good price for this. You know, I'm going to round down most of my prices, by the way, guys, just because it is day one. I think these prices will just go slightly down, but I think $60 for Boral Sword is super good. I don't really see it going too much down. It's a one of, so it could possibly go down to like 50 bucks, but I don't really see that happening for a while. I think it's actually going to hold 60 for a good amount of time. This price point is just like really fair. Honestly, I think it's a really good price. So pick these up, guys. Don't hesitate to do it. You know, Boral Low Dragon stayed here for a good amount of time. It stayed high for a good amount of time. So I think Boral Sword has a good opportunity to do the same thing. Arguably, this card's better than Boral Load, so who knows. Then we're going to talk about the danger stuff. So these are like sitting like, I would say like 40s, and maybe Bigfoots are like 45s. Or you can just say they're both 45s, but I think in a day or two these are going to probably settle around $40. They do have the possibility to go down in like 2 weeks, seeing depending on their impact of the meta, and I don't think the impact on the meta is going to be as good as people think it is, or some people think it is. Some people think it's going to be really good, some people think it's going to be meh. I think it's kind of going to be in between. It's going to be able to take tops, it's going to be able to compete with the meta, but it's definitely not going to be the best choice of deck. I just don't really see it going that way. I think right now, especially with Goki, because actually the danger stuff does a lot of the same thing as Goki. Most of the crazy combos you'll see are like extra link combos with them. I do think this deck has some good interaction, and some good things, but I think Goki would be the better choice if you're going to be playing a combo style deck. This deck is kind of meant for that stuff. And it just, the problem I have with this deck is that a lot of it just comes down to, are they hitting the right card? Is the right thing happening? It's a good deck, don't get me wrong, but I do think these could like actually fall to like 30s eventually, maybe in like 2 weeks, and then they're gonna probably go back up when Soul Fusion gets closer to release. I think Soul Fusion is actually pretty far away from now. So yeah, I do think maybe like these are gonna sit at 40s for a decent amount of time, though. They're pretty decent. You know, they're pretty good cards, honestly. Nessie may stay, because Nessie is more your combo extender. This one allows you to add, yeah, this one allows you to add, and Bigfoot allows you to, still learning, this one allows you to target one face-up card on the field and destroy it. So they're pretty good, but do I think they're going to hold? I don't think they're going to go up at all. I just don't see it happening. I think they're probably going to stay around this price point, if not just go down a little bit more from their sneak prices, because they were like 50s on sneaks. So yeah. And then Cyber Rev System, I think this like is actually outrageous of how expensive this is. This should be like a $10 secret. It's just all the hype from all the Cyber Dragon fans buying these, and being able to get rid of them. People will try to get rid of this card for this price point because their box didn't go the way they were planned to. They're trying to get a little bit money back from getting the secret, which is one of the ones you don't want as much. So I definitely think I'd hold off on these personally for a little bit because I think they're gonna go down. Even if you wait till they're like 15s, that might be solid too. They might sit at 15 for a while, but I definitely think $20 for this is pretty crazy. Next here we see Danger Jackalope, and the thing is, these are ultras. They are short print ultras. I'm not sure if they are in the North American printing, but in the EU printing, I believe they were short print ultras. And we have Jackalope and Chupacabra. Jackalope sitting at like 13 to 15, and Chupacabra sitting at like 8. I think these cards are going to go down, and these cards really remind me of Multi-Faker. If you guys don't remember, Multi-Faker was like 20 upon pre-release, and it's just so much like it, because then full release came out. I do think Jackalopes were sitting at like 25 on some websites at pre-release. Because I was looking up, because I was going to trade for them, and I saw the price, and I was just like, there's no way I'm getting them for that price. So they're like $12.85 is, around $15. Do you know what other card did this? Multi-Faker. Multi-Faker, it's at, upon pre-release, it was like $20, and then it went down to 15. Which was like, okay, and then it stayed around there for a little while, but now if you look at Multi-Faker, it's $3, and this isn't like a deck that's just like completely dead or doesn't do anything. This deck can compete in the meta. It got tops at Nats, it got tops at this, and I think that's pretty crazy. And some can argue this is because we're in the off season, but like if we look, it's the 27th, the day this video comes out, and regionals happen in like 2 weeks, so I don't really consider it really off season anymore. So I do see these cards just falling. I think ultra rares are really hard with the new way they print cards, and we are getting more ultras per set. Ultras just get pulled so much more, and it's hard to keep a ultra at a good solid price for a decent amount of time. So these will drop because they're just gonna always be more and more flooding into the market. So I definitely see these cards going down. I think if you can pick up your Jackalopes for like 10s, do it. I think it's okay, because if you want to play the deck right away, probably like I'd get these for 10s, and then try to get Chupacabras for like 6s. I think 8s is a little bit too much. I'm not really sure the ratios you want to play in the decks. I do know that like the Dangers got like 3rd at like one of these box tournaments, but just keep in mind, guys, that it is a new deck, so people have to learn how to play against it. And once that kind of happens, the new cards will the best decks will just kind of come out. Mekk-Knight Morningstar, sitting at like $8. I think this is like a solid, just pick it up for this price. I don't really see it going too much anywhere else from here. Cyber Dragon Hers, I think, if it's sitting at like an 8 to 9, I expect this to be like $5 card in a couple weeks. And Pinpoint Landing, if I pulled this from my box, I'd be pretty upset, but I'd probably get rid of it too. It's like a supply squad, but when you special summon from the hand, there may be a time where it's like okay, but I don't think it's like really that good now. Seeger sitting about like 8, about 8s. So I personally just wouldn't invest in the Cyber Dragon stuff unless you're gonna play it, guys. If you pull this stuff, like, sell it as fast as possible if you can, or trade it as fast as possible. Get the most value out of it as you can. This stuff will drop because it's not gonna be like a super tier deck, or anything like that. The secret that I pulled is Ledger to Ledger Domain. This card is so bad, but it's actually like potentially to be good eventually. Didn't mean to rhyme there. Banish 3 cards from the top of your deck face down during your 3rd standby phase. After this card's activation, add those 3 banished cards to your hand. You can only activate 1 per turn. So the reason this card's so bad is, sure, it can be a +2 for free, but you have to wait 3 of your standby phases. Most duels right now, the way the format is, they don't really last that long. That's 3 of your turns, not 3 standby phases. If this card was 3 standby phases, it would be actually really, really, really strong. But it's 3 of your standby phases, which is like the main reason this card is pretty bad. It's just way too slow. You're playing 1 card down. If you draw this turn 1, you're playing if you're going first, you're playing at 4 cards. If you're going second, you're playing at 5 cards. It's just not good. It's too slow. If we ever get a grindy format, this card could be really good. If we get a slow grindy format, this card could be really good. But right now, it's just like kind of meh. So who knows? I might hold on to mine just because it's like whatever, unless somebody really wants it. But and then Realm of Danger. Don't even pick these up, guys. I don't think it's a really good card for the deck. Now, Danger Zone being $5 was surprising because the deck that got 3rd place was playing 3 of them. So I would assume you're playing this card in the deck. It's a graceful charity, so I don't see why you wouldn't be. So I think it's just because this one isn't shorter print, that there's a lot more of them on the market. I think this one's the one that's not shorter print, if I'm not mistaken. And then like everything else, well, I'll talk about Celestial Observatory actually. Cyverse Magician, $4. Yeah, Cyverse is like meh. And then the Crusader stuff and the Noble Knight stuff, all around like $4 for your other ultras. And then Celestial Observatory, the lowest secret in the set. This card actually has potential to be good if like you wait for the right thing. So you can place 1 level 6 monster from your hand or face up on the field to the bottom of the deck, draw 2 cards. This is pretty much a trade-in that puts something back into the deck rather than the graveyard. And if there ever becomes like a deck that can use this really well, we could see this card being really good. I think like a deck. I think the Easy Flames. I think this was actually a decent. Here we go. Yeah. So this deck, obviously, it's not really relevant anymore at all. This deck actually used to be somewhat relevant back in the day, of Cosmo Blazer. This is just an example of a deck that could use a card like this that it just allows you to plus. It's actually really cool. So it's really cool to see there. Do I think like what I trade for these cards? No, I'd probably like hold off. If you can get this as like a decently sized throw in, pick these up. I would hold on to them. There may just be a time where this card becomes good. Same with like Ledger Domain. I'm just gonna hold on to mine since I pulled it. And you know, it's just like whatever. But yeah, that's all I really have to say, guys, because like if I keep going over these prices, there's not really much to go over anymore. Things are like absolutely just nothing costing. But yeah, please comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let me know if I'm just completely wrong about this set. If you think you just make a lot of money on the set, then let me know what you think. I will argue with you on it. I shouldn't say argue. I will discuss with you and let you know my opinions and my back statements to this to back up my story. But let me know what you guys think. Please comment, like, subscribe, join the Brick Brigade. We'll talk to you guys later. See ya.